From WXII 12 News, this is breaking news.
Just the drought that we're in right now and extreme fire behavior and just the ruggedness of that terrain, it couldn't have been in a more difficult spot.
The wildfire burning on Saratown Mountain showing no signs of burning out anytime soon. It has more than doubled in size.
Right now at 6, we have live team coverage. What authorities are saying, the challenges they face, evacuation orders in effect tonight, and the weather threat that could come with some much needed rain in just a few hours.
It has been nearly 48 hours since the fire on Saratown Mountain started. The cause still unknown at this hour. Crews from across the state and the other side of the country lending a hand to local fire crews to try to get the upper hand.
We will begin our team coverage tonight with Devontae McKenneth. He joins us live in King from YMCA's Camp Haines. Devontae.
Christine, Kenny, good evening to you. Yeah, officials say that fire grew once that fire jumped a containment line, forcing several homeowners here on Saratown Mountain to evacuate. That happened yesterday, and Governor Roy Cooper has since issued and extended the wildfire state of emergency to now to include Stokes County. I want to give you a live look this evening to show you exactly what we're seeing, and it's incredible images still at this hour. And you might recall this fire started at 7:30 Saturday night, and we are still seeing some impressive flames as those firefighters work to contain what has now grown to 750 acres. More than 150 firefighters are helping with that containment effort tonight. That includes crews from Montana, Oregon, Utah, South Dakota, even Washington State. Forestry officials say they could be fighting these flames well into the Thanksgiving holiday. Again, these impressive images just really puts you in awe into what we're seeing. Want to send things out to Chris Peterson. He joins us live tonight. And Chris, you spoke to those on the front lines of these fires. What did they have to tell you today?
Devontae, from our vantage point here at the Saratown Volunteer Fire Department, you can really see that impressive ring that is on the mountain. And Forestry Service officials tell us that peak burning hours just ended, but they're going to continue to monitor homes near the fire throughout the night. State Forestry Service officials say this is one of the more challenging fires they've fought in this district in the last 15 years.
When you have structures that are threatened, things get a lot more complicated that way. And just the drought that we're in right now and extreme fire behavior and just the ruggedness of that terrain, it couldn't have been in a more difficult spot.
Guilford County Park Ranger Jimmy Holt says 12 homes were evacuated on Saratown Mountain Road Sunday night, but firefighters have made good progress, and so far no homes have been damaged.
We've got the fire engines and structural firefighters that are all along Saratown Mountain Road as well to provide structural assistance to those homes.
Right now, Holt says they're continuing to monitor the weather and the rain predicted to come in, but there is another concern.
Our biggest concern right now is the wind that's going to come along with the rain that's forecast to come in starting around midnight tonight. Our concern is the wind getting here before the rain.
Holt shared with us some of the difficulties firefighters are facing on the mountain.
Firefighters are reporting to us that there's a lot of falling trees, burning, dead snags are coming down. That's very, very dangerous. With those winds and with the rain, we'll pull those firefighters out.
And with the Thanksgiving holiday fast approaching, Holt says his rangers will be here as long as it takes.
This is what they train for. This is what they do. Nobody wishes fire on anybody, but our rangers are excited to be here. And like I said, this is what they're trained for, and this is what we do.
Holt says that right now firefighters are just waiting on that much needed rain. In Stokes County, I'm Chris Peterson, WXII 12 News.
Chris, thank you. And as we mentioned, those evacuations are still taking place, happening at this hour. Maria DeBone joins us now at 6 o'clock. Maria, you spoke to several camp organizations. You spoke to folks here at Camp Haines and also Mountaintop Youth Camp. What are they telling you today?
Yeah, the executive director at Mountaintop Youth Camp said they have evacuated. They didn't have any campers there, but, you know, their staff has been evacuated. But here it has not been evacuated, but you can really just see the flames on their mountain here. You know, now that it is completely dark out, you can see that and less of the smoke. But the executive director here at YMCA YMCA camp Hayes Jen Reditter said there's no camps going on since it's Thanksgiving week, so just essential personnel are there as well, just like at Mountaintop Youth Camp. They haven't been evacuated yet here, but like I said, Mountaintop Youth Camp has. That's nearby. Both are just hoping the fire doesn't reach any of their structures, but the biggest fear is wind.
The biggest fear is wind. The wind turned last night at 4 o'clock. It was everything was good, and then at 5:30 everything was not good, and so it's all in the wind.
Continue to keep an eye on it. The helicopters did start coming and scooping water out of our lake, and we just kind of kept our eye on things.
And both camps are just hoping that incoming rain will help this and lessen the impact, and hopefully it won't hit any of their structures going forward. In Stokes County, Maria DeBone, WXII 12 News.
Maria, thank you. Yeah, fingers crossed for that rain tonight. The amount of community support we've seen is something worth noting itself. A lot of people in the immediate area say this reminds them of that 2008 fire, and they want to make sure firefighters and first responders have the stuff they need. And that's why we saw all the goods, all the food, the water coming in today from the community to help those who are responding to this fire. We also caught up with Stanley Smith. He's a farmer here on Saratown Mountain, and he's been here since 1992, but the farm itself, it's been around since 1978. So you can only imagine just how much is on the line when it comes to value and also emotional connection for this family. Smith's home and farm are close to the fire, but he says there's a reason why he's not in immediate danger tonight.
We're standing here looking at our house, and it looks as though the fire is coming down, but actually YMCA Camp Road goes around, and so YMCA Camp Road is actually between our farm and the fire. So at this time, we're not in any danger.
You just saved my life. And as we take a live look at Saratown Mountain from our weather camera, Smith says the community is very tight-knit and everyone has made it a crystal clear point today to check in with each other, and they're doing what they can to prepare and evacuating as needed. I want to show you another live picture tonight here. The flames are just incredible, and as we see in the dark hours, that orange glow, it really does take your breath away, folks. As you mentioned, as you heard, that rain is in the forecast. It is much needed, and hopefully we can get a handle on that fire that continues to burn. But officials say the wind is also a big concern tonight. Let's check in with meteorologist Jacqueline Shear for the timing and the track.
And you know, we've got some of that light rain out there, very light drizzle as we're looking outside, and you can see that some of our area, including area in Stokes County, is seeing some of that rain, but that really will not help us. So as you're looking outside and you're starting to see some of those raindrops on the windshield, know that it's not really doing much of a change for us. The only thing it's doing is making our air slightly less dry. And that is some help, but not a lot. As we look through the next couple of hours, our first big concern is the wind. Winds 15, 20, 25 mile per hour gusts as we look towards this area here over the next couple of hours through midnight and into the early morning of tomorrow. Then we start to see that rain pick up slightly. Rain that is heavy enough that it actually helps us by the time we wake up on Tuesday morning. Overnight firefighters will be dealing with that wind and they'll see some light rain, but then by the time the sun comes up, that heavier rain moves in and that'll start to make a difference for the fire. You can see those yellows, oranges, and reds on your screen there as we progress through the day, and some high rain totals expected. Unfortunately, there are some downsides with that. We've got flash flooding concerns and even severe storm threats. We'll talk about that coming up.
Jacqueline, thank you. And to recap once again, 750 acres as of earlier this evening, around 5 o'clock tonight. 48 hours since this fire started. 7:30 Saturday is when that first call came in. No injuries reported, and so far no structures have been damaged, but a lot are being threatened as this fire continues.
All right, Devontae McKenneth live for us this evening in Stokes County, right at the foot of Saratown Mountain at Campaigns. Many thanks. Well, rain, thankfully, mercifully, will soon be moving into parts of the viewing area here. That includes Virginia, about 2 hours north of the Piedmont Triad.
There's a wildfire burning right now in Bedford County, just north of Pennsylvania. It's having an impact on air quality here. This is the Matts Creek fire. The U.S. Forest Service says it's burned more than 10,000 acres and is 27% contained. The fire started 8 days ago, and crews are still working to determine how it started. They've closed the James River Face Wilderness along with about 20 miles of the Blue Ridge Parkway. Wildfires continue to burn in the western part of North Carolina as well. In Haywood County, the Black Bear Fire has scorched more than 1,700 acres. It's 42% contained. Nearly 200 personnel on the scene trying to prevent any flare-ups from wind gusts. And crews are getting the upper hand on the Cullet Bridge fire. That's been burning in Clay and Cherokee County since October 23rd. That one is 82% contained. Authorities say the lightning strike started that wildfire. And a reminder, you can get real-time updates anytime when we are not on the air. You can scan the QR code on your screen, or you can head over to our website or download the free WXII 12 News app.